Here we are with BoxersandBrawlers.com at the championship fit where we find Jesse James Leija Jr. who will be making his pro debut May 9th on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez Kirkland fight in Houston, Minute Maid Park. How do you feel about that, Jesse?
I feel real excited. I think it's a great opportunity to be fighting on such a big card, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of it. It's a great opportunity that I've earned, and I'm ready for it.
Son of the great Jesse James Leija, two-time world champion here in town, do you have added pressure?
Not at all. For me, the only pressure I have is the pressure I put on myself. My father doesn't expect me to be him. I don't expect to be my father. I'm just me. I'm doing me. The city might put a little bit added pressure on me, but at the same time, I'm not really listening to it. I've had it my whole life. No matter what sport I played, I've had pressure because of my dad. I've had that look, that people looking at me. So I'm just used to it. It's not a big deal.
And you've had that question over and over, just as we started this interview.
Yeah.
Do you see any of your dad in you in the ring?
I see more of my dad in me in my training. It's where I'm very dedicated. He says he'll be the first to tell you I'm better than him at my age right now. And I think I see it more in my training and my preparation and my dedication. He was very dedicated, and I saw that growing up, so I think that rubbed off on me. As far as the ring, I'm a little bit of a different fighter. I'm more of a boxer than he was, I believe, but I do have that aggression that he had, definitely.
He was more of a brawler than boxer, where you're more of a boxer than brawler, right? How are the nerves knowing that you're going into such a big fight and such a big event? Canelo on the card in Houston, you're making your pro debut. Aside from the whole pressure added, being the son of two-time world champion Jesse James Leija, how are the butterflies?
I really don't feel them. To be honest, I would rather have this. I would rather be on such a big card. It's not really my style to be on something smaller. If I was going to do something big, if I was going to do something, I'd rather do it big. Eyes are going to be on me either way, so I'd rather just have more eyes on me. I'd rather get out of the way, get the biggest fight I could, rather than do something smaller. I'm that type of guy to do something big.
Pressure makes diamonds, right?
Exactly.
Now, looking ahead in this fight, you have not matched yet, and we briefly talked about it. What type of fight do you prefer coming at you? A brawler or a puncher? Whereas you're a boxer puncher, what type of fighter do you prefer to have in the ring?
To be perfectly honest, I don't have a big preference. I think the one big advantage I have is that I can adjust in the ring, to where if you give me a brawler, I can adjust and make him fight a fight he doesn't want to fight. If I have a boxer, I make him brawl and make him fight a fight he doesn't want to fight. I think that's one of the best things a boxer can have, is the ability to adjust. If you look at Mayweather, everyone always says, I'll give that opponent the first 4 rounds. If they don't give it to him, if he doesn't knock Mayweather out, Mayweather wins, because he can adjust to any fighter. I think that's one of the best things a fighter can have, is the ability to adjust, and that's what I have. I don't really have a preference.
Do you think that you're so calm and ready for this stage because you've been around it all your life and you spar pro fighters here in the likes of Mongoose, the Castaneda brothers, all the time? Do you think that's what gives you that calmness going into that, knowing that you have what it takes to be a pro fighter?
I think the calmness comes from my family, more believing in me, the belief in my camp. Definitely that step up in sparring that I have with Kendo and Ido and all those guys. They've definitely made me a better fighter. I think being in the ring with those guys, seeing their progression in the sport has definitely gave me a confidence that I wouldn't have had without them. And I think you're right. I think the sparring and the camp, the people that I'm around, they're very positive, so that lifts me up as well. It's better to have a positive camp than one that might people that might doubt you now and then.
A positive atmosphere all around.
Exactly.
And that's usually what we find here at the championship film throughout. Whether you're a pro fighter, amateur, everything seems to be positive, starting out with Jesse James Leija Sr., your dad. I think that's one of the things he teaches, is be positive at all times. Now, when did you know that you were going to turn pro?
I knew that I was going to turn pro, I would say early January, late February. I knew that I was going to turn pro this year at the end of last year. I just didn't know when. I didn't have a good read of when that was going to come, but when my dad and Mike Batal got a hold of the Canelo fight, when they bought the Canelo fight, it was definitely a feeling of, that's a good card to be on. I didn't nudge my dad one way or another. It was his decision to turn me pro. I was fine with it. I wanted to be pro since I was an amateur, since I started amateur fighting. But
imagine you sitting across from your dad, and you guys are talking every day about the term pro. Is that something that you guys both agreed on, or did y'all at any point did you want to turn pro where he said no, I don't think we're ready, or were y'all both on board on this?
We're both on board, definitely. For me, my dad's had such success in the sport that I'm not going to go against what he says. If he believes that I have the ability to do it, then I do. If he believed that I didn't, then I wouldn't be here. I definitely, he wouldn't put me in a position to fail, or to be in a position that I couldn't do. And I guess with seeing how I'm training, my dedication, like he feels comfortable that I'm able to jump to this level. If he didn't, he's told me if he didn't think I could do it, I wouldn't do it. It was definitely a choice that both of us made. I kind of put the ball in his. I don't have really a say in what I'm doing. I let him make that decision.
And he's certainly seen it all. Boxers and Brawlers, we're here live at the Championship champion, Jesse J. Leija Jr., who will be making his pro debut May the 9th in Houston, Texas, under the Canelo-Kirkland fight. Make sure y'all tune in, May 9th. He's a boxer, he's a brawler, and he's here with Boxers and Brawlers. So long.